Shalom. If you're watching this, I hope you're doing well. You see behind me, that is the Mercedes-Benz dealership of Cincinnati. That's where we'll be stealth camping today. Currently in like a strip mall for parking, and the task at hand is getting into the woods very quickly. And there's actually a really cool story about the creek I'm going to be hiking in, which I will tell you once I get down there. Ooh, this might be a little harder than I thought. It's alright, we'll make do. Down, down, down. Alright. Head straight down into the creek. All right, so this creek here, there's actually some interesting history to it. I was at a bar called Slats about a week ago, and I was sitting next to this couple at the bar and got to talking to them. And she's on the township board, and I told her about my stealth camping at Summit Park, and she's like, I didn't hear that. I was like, all right. Then she's like, you know where you should check out is that creek by the Mercedes dealership, because back in the day, back during the Civil War, this was the route that Morgan's raid took. So John Morgan was a Confederate general, and he was tasked with basically draining and distracting resources from the Union Army. And he wasn't coming down here to like wage war. He was coming down here to basically get troops to chase him. So he went through Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, and it was known as Morgan's Raid. So this creek that I'm walking in is actually where him and his soldiers traveled back in, was it 1860, Civil War times. Now, he was eventually caught and sent up to Salina, Ohio, and then put in jail in Columbus, Ohio, which he escaped from. And he and some of his men came back down here to Cincinnati and commandeered a skiff, or like a little boat. Oh, wait, let me make sure I still have my water. Okay, good. It's like, you gotta boil food with that later. So they commandeered a boat and crossed back to Kentucky, which was Confederate. So it's a little bonus, and also it's a good excuse if I get caught down here. Just like, oh, I'm following Morgan's raid. So the plan is that Mercedes dealership has two lots, and this creek that I'm following now is going to go under a bridge of a main road. And then Mercedes dealership has their own little bridge connecting both their car lots. So I'm going to be going under those bridges and then looking for some flat ground to camp in. Now, I was going to set up my tarp, which I just ordered last week, but I was messing around with it in my apartment last night, and it's really heavy, and my trekking poles aren't going to be enough to hold it up. And I'm also not proficient enough at guy lines and tying off tarps yet. So what I'm going to do is set up my one-person tent and cover it with my camouflage tarp. And sunset, let's see what time it is. 3:37, sunset's at 5:15, so that should give me enough light to be able to get to the camp, because I'm not too far away from where I'm planning on camping, and getting everything set up and getting some dinner going. So turn around here, see the car there, that's the main road, which will be going right underneath here in a second. There's a lot of graffiti and stuff around here, so I'm hoping I don't get bothered by anyone tonight. It seems like this might be a hangout spot for the local teenagers. There's a lot of fresh cigarette butts too, so people have definitely been around here recently. So yeah, here's It's the main road. Let's make our way into that. Huh, look. An old pumpkin. Trying not to make tons of noise. Alright. Yeah, I probably should have scouted this ahead of time. The only scouting I did was on Google Maps. But I felt confident enough that there would be a path for me to follow under this bridge, and there is. So, here we go. I was originally thinking about camping under the bridge, but yeah, there's no flat ground and there's too much water in the bottom. Gotta be nice and quiet. The Mercedes dealership doesn't close until 7. And they have cameras. That's one thing I noticed. They have cameras everywhere. I think it's a blind spot under this bridge, so I should be okay. Alright, so that's the main bridge. That's the Mercedes-Benz dealership bridge. Alright. There's not as much tree cover as I would have hoped for. Officially on Mercedes-Benz property. See, up there, that's their other lot. And that's the main lot. So now we just quietly hike past the dealership and the auto repair shop, because there's definitely people there. It's going to be really hard. Fuck, there's a neighborhood there. Yeah, so look. The house is there, and there's not enough tree cover for me. In clear view. Just gonna have to hike up this creek a little while longer. Now there are some good places here, but they're in view of the houses. So that's where my tarp's gonna come in handy. To find a place where the houses are blind, because all these houses have giant windows in the back. And like, see there's the flat ground there, but if I set up on a total view of these goddamn houses. Alright, I have an idea. Okay, I think I found a spot. There's a big tree blocking, and I can set up my tarp as a shield. And it's really good camo, so That'll work out quite nicely. All right, here. I'm gonna set up the tarp. I'll get back with you in a minute. So far, so good. I set up my tarp as kind of a block. It is fall camouflage, and right on the other side of that, up the creek bank, is a big house with a bunch of windows and a screened-in patio facing me. So hopefully they don't notice, and if they do notice, hopefully they don't care enough to call the police. So otherwise, I'm busted. But here's my setup for the night. My little tent, sleeping bag. I've got my liquid melatonin, and also my regular melatonin, because it is going to be hard to get to sleep tonight. There's going to be a lot of light pollution, so it's not going to be very dark out here, and there will be cars going by on the bridge all night. So I'm here, I'll set up. Just time to sit here and wait until darkness, and then I can get my stove out and do a little cooking. So I'll check back in with you then. I don't know if you can hear those sirens, but every like 20 minutes, sirens are going by, and I'm freaking out. Like some Karen called the police on me because she saw a tent in the creek, and they must be up to no good. Good, sirens faded away. Hurry up, sunset. Alrighty. So far, so good. Knock on wood. It's been relatively quiet other than sirens and the odd dog barking. I've got my chili mac and beef mountain house ready to eat. Really hot. Very hot. Need to let that cool. And I'll do my little Boda Box wine review. It's their cab. There's a cardinal over there. Very fruit forward for a cab. A lot of cherry, a lot of vanilla. It's almost like a Pinot, it's so sweet. But it'll do the trick. So in my opinion, the thing with stealth camping is, if you can make it till morning, you're good. And that's what I'm hoping I'm able to do tonight. So if I do get busted, hopefully it'll be in the morning when I'm packing up to leave. Because there are some potential issues if I get busted tonight. How did I get here? I drove, which means I can't drive home now that I've started to drink some wine. So by the morning I'll be fine, but if I do get busted tonight and I'm drinking wine, a little bit of an issue. So it's a calculated risk when you bring alcohol stealth camping, but it's a risk I'm willing to take because I don't want to just be laying in my sleeping bag all night not being able to sleep, and this helps me sleep, at least fall asleep. So yeah, just waiting on my food to cool. I'm gonna eat that, drink some more wine, and properly get nice and cozy in the tent. And I'll bring you back once I'm like in the tent, so I can have a little light on. I can kind of recap everything. So I'll be back with you. Well, I am safely in the tent. And can't keep the light on for too long because there's a neighborhood on either side of the creek, and I don't want to get spotted before I pass out. I've had my melatonin, I've had some wine, and quick recap. Very nerve-wracking getting to the spot, setting it up. The darker it got, the more comfortable I was. So, I'm gonna try and get some sleep. I'll get back with you in the morning. But, if you're watching this, I hope you're doing well. Things could be a lot better for me right now, but you know, getting out in the woods is what it's all about. I don't know why this light just went off for one. There we go. But yeah, getting out in the woods heal you, even if it's stealth camping right by a main road, just being out in nature. So, have a good night's sleep, everyone. I'll check in the morning. So, I don't know if you can even hear me over the sound of the rain. I checked the forecast today, and it said no rain. No rain at all. Thank God I put up my rain fly. It's been raining for like an hour. Not wet yet, but it's a matter of time. The rain fly. I sprayed it down with weatherproofing like, I don't know, a year ago. But that's gonna at some point give in. And if it keeps raining all night, at some point I will get rain in here. My sleeping pad that I spent a ton of money on is completely deflated, so when I'm not laying on my back, even though it's like, I'm gonna need a chiropractor tomorrow. I sleep on my side or on my stomach, and when I'm trying to fall asleep on my side or my stomach, I have to contort myself into some weird pretzel shape to avoid the roots and the sticks and the things that I didn't see when I set the tent up, and the things that I didn't see when I set up the sleeping pad. I didn't feel them, so I'm feeling them now. But you take the pros with the cons. So the pros are that I was able to actually come out here for a night. I had the time to do that. I made the time to do that. Like I said earlier, life is not going very well right now, but I need to make time for myself to get out, to clear my head, get out in the woods, and find some peace. So this is what that is, and that's why I'm able to kind of laugh as it's raining on me, because I'm not going to let the rain and the occasional thunder and the misery of the deflated sleeping pad ruin my night. This is going to be a good night for me. But that's the thing when you get out in nature, you just take the pros with the cons. Like, something will go wrong, and when it goes wrong, you just have to roll with the punches and deal with it. So here we are. Lots of rain, thunder, roots on my lower back, roots on my legs, roots on my butt, roots everywhere. I have to like shift like this, and then like I can only shift like this for a certain amount of time because my hip starts bugging me, and I have to flip to the other side. But I have a pillow at least. That'll help, right? Yeah, this is what we're in for till the morning, and then I don't even want to think about the joy of the morning when everything's wet and I have to pack that up and pack it away. We'll deal with it when it comes. Story of my life. If something can go wrong, it goes wrong. But, we deal with it. Well, good night, everyone. I'm going to try and get some sleep. I don't know if that's going to happen. Hopefully it does. Yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry for just spending so much time laughing and complaining, but this is what I'm dealing with right now, and I'll see you in the morning, or mañana. Good morning. It is, hold on. No momento, por favor. is 7:08 in the morning. I got about 3 hours of sleep. It rained the entire night. The bottom of this tent is very wet, and it's supposed to start raining in another half an hour. So I'm just gonna pack up and get the hell out of here. So I'll check in a bit. Oh. Yeah, this is the level of packing up I did this morning as I'm heading out. I got like 3 hours of sleep. It rained the entire night. I'm cold, I'm wet, I'm miserable. But I'm grateful for the experience that I had out here. I don't know why. I mean, I guess stealth camping, it's always kind of exhilarating. Just something fun about it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching as I hike back up Morgan's Raid, or the creek that Morgan's Raid took place on, part of it at least. But my hands are so numb I can't even feel them. My pants are soaking wet. Everything in my backpack is soaking wet. Yeah, I mean, it could not have gone less smooth for me last night. But with that being said, I'm almost back to the car. I'm gonna get to the car, go home, sleep, and then start editing the video. So thanks for watching, and take it easy.